Today, we're going to dig into the source code of motivation itself. I'm talking about those powerful words we use every single day to drive ourselves and our teams forward. What if I told you the language you use to inspire is way older and more profound than you think?
I mean, how many times have you heard something just like this? It's the standard language of getting things done, right? You hear it in the boardroom, in team huddles, on late night conference calls. We use these phrases on autopilot. But have you ever actually stopped to wonder, where does this language come from? What's the original source code for our most effective, most powerful words of encouragement? Well, the answer is probably not what you're expecting. So let's start by just looking at the tools in our motivational toolkit, the phrases we instinctively reach for when the pressure's on. First up, this classic, go the extra mile. This is the gold standard for a high performer, isn't it? It's a go-to phrase in pretty much every performance review or project kickoff meeting. And then there's fight the good fight. We pulled this one out when a project gets really tough or when we have to defend a core principle against some pushback. It's about persevering through a challenge. And here's another one. Put your hand to the plow. It's this incredibly powerful call for just unwavering commitment. Now, we're not going to unpack this specific one today, but it's another perfect example of the kind of language we're talking about. Okay, so we have these potent, universally understood phrases. You might think they were dreamed up in a business school or maybe coined by some famous general. But the truth is they all trace back to a single, ancient, and for many people, a very unexpected source. That's right, every single one of those phrases we just mentioned, and honestly, hundreds more just like them, they originate in the Bible. And this isn't just some weird coincidence. It's a testament to how deeply this one book has shaped our culture and the very language of motivation.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting for anyone in a leadership role. So what if they come from the Bible? If we only know the surface meaning, are we missing out on their real power? What happens when we understand their original intent? As you're about to see, it can completely transform how you lead.
So, let's do it. Let's turn this ancient text into a modern, practical toolkit. We're going to unpack two of these phrases right now to show you how their original meaning can add powerful new layers to your leadership.
We all know what this means in business. Over-deliver, exceed expectations, give it that 110%. But the original context wasn't about impressing your boss. It was actually about subverting an empire. Okay, so picture this. Under Roman law, a soldier could legally compel any civilian to carry his pack, which was incredibly heavy, by the way, for 1 full mile, not an inch more. It was this constant, humiliating reminder of their subjugation. And into that incredibly tense reality, Jesus gives this teaching. Here's the profound shift. This is not about working harder. It's a radical strategy to seize control from an oppressor. You're turning an act of compulsion into a shocking act of generosity, which completely disarms your adversary and lets you reclaim your dignity. It's brilliant. All right, next, let's look at fight the good fight. In a corporate setting, we use this to talk about pushing for our company's values, upholding integrity, or just, battling through a really tough quarter. But the original context in a letter from the Apostle Paul isn't about a brawl at all. The Greek word he uses is agon. Sound familiar? It's where we get our word agonize. The fight he's talking about is an athletic contest, a race that requires immense endurance, discipline, and a laser-like focus on the final prize. So when Paul tells his young apprentice Timothy to fight the good fight, he's not telling him to go win every argument. He's telling him to run his life's race with purpose, with discipline, with stamina. It's about endurance for a mission, not just winning the battle of the day. So what does this all mean for you? As a professional, as a leader? It means that these phrases, they're not just empty clichés. They are deep, actionable principles for navigating incredibly complex challenges. And this slide just illustrates the shift perfectly. Go the extra mile moves from simply work harder to a powerful principle, overcome oppression with radical generosity. And fight the good fight is elevated from just don't give up to a clear strategy, persevere with disciplined focus on a worthy goal. Now, which of these is more inspiring to you and your team? And believe me, it goes way beyond just those two examples. The Bible provides this rich, targeted toolkit for the very real problems we all face. Facing teen burnout? Psalm 30 offers this promise that joy comes in the morning. Struggling with a lack of vision?
Proverbs 29 gives that stark warning, where there is no vision, the people perish, feeling completely overwhelmed by the size of a task. Zechariah 4 reminds us that success comes not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. So understanding these origins isn't about becoming religious. It's about becoming a more effective, a more wise, and a more resonant leader. It's about understanding the cultural and linguistic DNA that you are already using every single day. Seriously, think about it. Every time you've asked someone to go the extra mile, or you've acknowledged a colleague's labor of love, or you've warned about the writing on the wall, you were quoting the Bible. You're already familiar with its wisdom. So the ultimate question is this. If you're already quoting the playbook, isn't it time you actually read it? Exploring the source isn't just an academic exercise. It's a way to unlock a deeper level of influence in your professional life. Perhaps the oldest book on the shelf holds the freshest ideas for the challenges you're facing tomorrow.